I'm a recruiter and I review your resumes. The resume we have up first is an intern. So almost every single intern is going to want the same thing. Are you an accounting intern? Are you a software engineer intern? Are you a quant intern? Are you a machine learning intern? Doesn't matter. You all want almost the exact same thing. You want to show that you're still enrolled in college. You want a basic knowledge of the industry, which, and again, I mean basic knowledge. Every single intern does these like crazy things and it gets them rejected. We need to see a basic understanding. So for an intern that is a quality engineer, I will get to that in a second, but every intern needs to show that you can work well together with others and you can take direction and criticism. If you do not have those, you will not get moved forward. So for quality engineers or SDET engineers in particular, what we are looking for is a basic knowledge of the industry, which everyone is, such as SPC, FMEA control charts, Microsoft Office. That was in like every single one. If you don't have Microsoft Office, you're not going to get moved forward. I understand how basic that is. I understand you may have like a master's. We have to. You, as a recruiter, you send too many candidates in that don't have MS Office in when the job requires it, you get fired. ISO, doesn't matter what kind, and then what you worked on in its industry. So like airplane and engines, that shouldn't be engineers, that should be engines. So whatever, manufacturing, ERP or SAP. So this person's resume is okay. It's 75. What that means is it takes them 75 applications to get one interview. When people follow my advice, they get 1 to 7. So for every 7 applications, they get 1 interview. There are some exceptions, as if you're going for a fully remote role, or alternatively, you are an international. Those would change your ratio. But for on-site roles, 1 to 7, that's what I get people. So let's see if they have what we need in 20 seconds to see what they are missing, because this does mean that they are, it's okay, but it's not like it's like a D- resume. A 75 to 1 is like a D-. So let's see what happens. 20 seconds on the clock and go. Okay, I don't know if this is needed. Wired load cells and process in data acquisition to hardware collect thrust. What? But at least tell me what it is. Rockets to create user data logs, calibration, test execution. Okay, test, good. Troubleshot sensors, fire operations. Met with the team weekly to evaluate feedback. Okay, and time. So this is not terrible, right? Formatting is good. They use my formatting. This is what it is. This is how you do it in the link below. But I didn't see enough of what I needed. And there's a couple of things that are confusing me. So let me read what they wrote. I'm a current community college transferring this fall. I want to get my resume ready for when I move and start applying to internships. The types of jobs I'm looking for: a test engineer, specifically in the aerospace. So first off, I don't know if we need a NAR. I don't know what a NAR is. I don't know why that would be necessary for this. It does not seem like anybody was asking for that. Second is, so your okay, so, oh, I see. Okay, this is BSAS engineering from university. Okay, this one makes sense. I would actually flip these around, though. I would put BS, expected graduation and transfer. So expected transfer, and then below that would be AS, would be expected graduation. I would flip those around. Then we go down to here, and my problem is your first sentence is almost entirely gibberish. So I understand this may mean a lot to you, but it does not mean much to the hiring team, and that could include the hiring manager. So wired load cells and pressure transducers to N1 data acquisition DAC hardware to collect thrust and chamber pressure data during static testing of rocket motors. The only thing that is actually relevant here is chamber pressure data during static fire of test. In fact, data during rocket motors. So that at least tells me a little bit about what you've done. But the rest of that is gibberish. And I'd like you to know why it's gibberish, is that it's a hot dog, not a hamburger. And recruiters are looking for hamburgers, not hot dogs. So I want you to imagine that you're hungry. And you want a cheeseburger with onions and pickles. Why do you want it with cheeseburgers and onions and pickles? I don't know, but that's your order. I'm not here to judge. So you go to a restaurant and you say, I want a cheeseburger with pickles and onions. And the waiter says, cheeseburger with pickles and onions. You say, cheeseburger, pickles, and onions. So they say, all right, cheeseburger, pickles, and onions. Right away, boss. We'll get it for you. So they go in, they bring you back, and they bring you a hot dog with cheese, pickles, and onions on it. And they say, all right, here's your hamburger. You would be like, what? No, this is a hot dog. They say, no, this is what you wanted. A hot dog has meat just like a hamburger. A hot dog has buns just like a hamburger. A hot dog can have cheese, pickles, and onions just like a hamburger. Thus, based on what you told me, this is what you wanted. And you would be upset with them because you're like, this is not a cheeseburger, and you would walk away. That is the problem here. This is what we're looking for. If it's not this, it's not relevant. And load cells and pressure transducers and DAC hardware and pressure whatever, that is a hot dog. That is adjacent to what we want. That has meat, that has cheese, that has pickles and onions, but it's a hot dog. It's not a hamburger. Used N1 View Lab View to data. See, again, I like the fact that you did test execution because this does involve a lot of testing, so they want to see some of that. But the rest of this is incomprehensible, and it's at the end of that sentence. And then troubleshoot sensors and wiring issues to ensure reliable data collection during static fire. Fine, that's good, but I want a little bit more. Your goal should be 3 keywords per bullet point, right? So these are keywords, right? These are keywords. These are the hamburgers, and how we need you to write them is I need to see what you did, which is a keyword, plus how you did it, plus the reason or result for the business, plus where you did it. And if it's not those 4 things, what, how, why, where, and the reason or result, it does not count as a qualification, and that is what we're hunting for. So I need you to have 3 of these per bullet points, but right now all I see is that you did test execution and troubleshoot, which again is something I'm looking for, but in 2 bullet points I need more. Then met team for weekly design and test readiness reviews to evaluate feedback, refine test procedures, and address safety considerations prior to test operations. Perfection. Love it. Tells me you can work well with others. Tells me that you reviews to evaluate feedback, which means direction and criticism. That is perfection. I don't really have any other notes, and that it should probably be your 2nd bullet point rather than your 3rd. Perfection. Love it. Good job. And then document wiring, calibration, and test results using Microsoft Word and Excel. Why is Microsoft Word and Excel down here when almost every single job requires that? That should be in your first sentence. And then down here is, you at least tell me what you did, which is a Mars rover. CAD is potentially good, but then there's all this other stuff here, which is just hot dogs. FEMA is good. Almost did that, but no one's going to read all the way down here to see FEMA. That's way too long. So your issue is that you've filled your resume with hot dogs. And you did do good, though. I will say this 3rd sentence that I highlighted right down here. If you're an intern, I want you to write a sentence like that. This is probably one of the real reasons you're actually getting interviews, is because of this fantastic sentence, is that it shows that you can work well with others and take direction and criticism. Fantastic. So, but the rest of it is just not there. Like, how did you use FEMEA? All the way, it's too far down at the bottom. Where did you use Microsoft Office and Excel? Right? Only here, this should be in your first line. What about controls charts? What about what you worked on at a injury? I found a little bit of that. So when you only have 20 seconds to find what you need, you start learning that you really need to focus on what is in that resume, because it's not that you don't have it. It's that like I'm digging through your resume to have to find what I need, and most people don't have the time to dig through your resume. In fact, I would say if everybody could spend 5 minutes on a resume, this would pass. But it doesn't, because we only have 20 seconds. And because we only have 20 seconds, I have to dig through so many hot dogs that I'm going to give up before I find what I need. So, because nobody has the time for that. No internal recruiter has the time for that. So, that's all I could do for this resume. I just want to thank you all for watching, liking, and commenting, subscribing. Really appreciate it. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST, I stream this. This is where I get the keywords from. This is where I teach people stuff beyond just the YouTube channel, like interview tips and tricks. And yeah, that's where I do all that on both YouTube and Twitch at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I just want to thank all of my members who get access to videos a little bit early. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. I'm a small creator and it means a lot to me. And if anybody else wanted to join the channel and get access to videos just a little bit early, the link is in the description below. But let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a data analyst. So what we need for a data analyst is degree, industry, SQL, data visualization, influencing stakeholders, explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders, how you solved a problem with data, not what the data is, MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP. I swear, unless you're a software engineer, you probably want Excel. Almost every job wants Excel. Not every job, but like 90% of them, it seems, except for a software engineer. Word, ETL, Python, R, multiple projects and deadlines, and you can probably get away with not having R. So, and then a bonus is cloud. So, let's see. We don't know this person's ratio, so we don't know how good or bad this is. Let's find out in 20 seconds on the clock. And go. Okay, degree, good. Use SQL and Python, good, to build predictive models for churn critical across portfolio, don't really care. Enabling the risk team, okay. Build Power BI dashboards, unify KPIs, don't care. And consumer behavior reports, review business executives. Improving visibility, preparation, that's not really relevant. Served as the analytics subject matter expert, you need to write that out using Excel. It's all right, how good your question is for please. Okay, this is too many hot dogs. It's not terrible, but I think you need international support, and that's going to tank it. You said, I'm actively looking for data analyst and scientist roles in retail, tech, and fintech. I previously had my resume reviews and made some changes. It is better than the last one. I want to have a 1 in 30 as an international. Kindly roast it your best. Thank you so much. 1 in 30 for international is like the best resume ever for an international. This is probably a 1 in 200, but we need to change it. So first off, oh boy. First off, again, I don't care about your numbers. There is a lot of bad advice about numbers, and you don't want to have numbers in your bullet points unless it's a leadership or sales role. If you're in sales, you need numbers. I need numbers for sales. If you're in a leadership role, I need to see leadership ones, but numbers. But otherwise, I don't need this. Like, used SQL and Python, okay, good. To build predictive models, okay. For churn and credit risk, all right. Across customer portfolio, don't really care. Enabling the risk team to triage earlier and reduce financial losses. So again, like, you could just say used SQL and Python to build predictive models for our risk team, right? To triage high-risk cases and do that. This is unnecessary information. But then also we get to the problem is this is only 2 things I need. Remember, I need 1 more. Each bullet point needs to have 3 keywords maximum, minimum 3 keywords minimum, a max of 6. And especially as an international, your time is precious. You should have more than that there. Build Power BI dashboards. Okay, good. To unify KPIs. Who cares about that? Why do we care about unifying KPIs? And customer behavior. Again, what does unifying mean? Why is that important? I don't know. Into a single view for business executives, improving visibility and coding. Again, this is a hot dog. Like, I get that you tell me improved visibility, but improved visibility is not anything. The only thing I have here is Power BI. I need you to be very, very specific. Remember, these people may not be able to write an email. They're not going to know what improved visibility is. Served as the analytics subject matter expert. Write that out. If you're saying subject matter expert, you need to write it out. They may not know what SME is. Hopefully they do, but they may not. Using Excel, good. To answer ad hoc questions. Again, I need more. I don't care about 3. So cross-functional is not what we're looking for. In delivery of that. Like, this is 2, right? Subject matter expert is explaining complex topics, and Excel is 1. I need more. Again, I need more. They need 1 more here. There should be 1 more. That's a terrible one. And then executed A/B testing, translating results into recommendation. Again, I'm not asking you to build something for non-technical folk. I'm asking you to influence them and speak to them about non-technical stuff. Not building something. Your job is to speak to them. If I see you build the program for them, it's not going to count. Implemented an NLP pipeline, a little bit of AI with ETL. Remember, ETL is what I'm looking for, not ELT. All right, one or the other. This is what I'm looking for to classify customer complaints into groups. Again, not relevant. Like if you look at this, you're starting to just not have stuff that's relevant. So like if I go through this SQL, good, I found SQL. How you structured it was bad, but whatever, I still found it. Data visualization, again, I see Power BI, but I prefer you write data visualization such as Power BI to have it, right? And then influencing stakeholders, I did not see. I did see explaining technical concepts, kind of, but not really. Your bullet points are bad on that one. I did see how you solve problems with data. I think you actually did have that in some of them, especially the first. I did see MS Excel. That's good. But I didn't see the other start of like Word or anything. I did see ETL. I did see Python. R, I should probably remove R for that list. But I don't see that you did multiple projects and deadlines. So if you notice, also, a degree in industry I did. I don't have data visualization. Again, you did not explain it well enough. I did not have influencing stakeholders. I did not see explaining complex topics to non-technical stakeholders. I didn't see Word. You might be able to get away with not having Word. But I don't see multiple projects and deadlines. And as an international, you need all of this. Most people need 75%. You need about 85%. And the best ones that will get you a 1 in 30 are 100%, and I don't see it. Your bullet points are too technical. They make the assumption that somebody can understand that in 20 seconds, which they can't. And I just need more. Like, they're not good. You're not telling me how you change the business. You're telling me that you... What was it that you actually said? It wasn't relevant. That you... predictive models for churn and risk of portfolio, right? Or customer behavior reporting to a signal view for improving visibility and cutting reporting time. That's not what we're hiring you for. So I need you to be very, very, very focused on what this is. And you've been there for almost a year, a little bit longer than a year. You don't need 6 bullet points. You could get away with 4, maybe 4 to 5. And that's probably the amount that you can do with it. Because the rest of this is just a bunch of hot dogs. So, next resume. This is a resume of a business analyst. So, business analyst, data analyst, different jobs, right? Like 30-40% is the same, but the rest of that is different. So you really, really, really need different stuff. So SQL, Tableau, Power BI, industry. I need to know what industry you're in. Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Outlook, Excel, Advanced, Word, Jira, SAP. This is where I actually want Jira and SAP. Requirements gathering and documentation, influencing cross-functionals from the IC to stakeholders manager. So this is a little bit different. I need to see that you can talk to the CEO and the janitor and convince them of stuff and proactively solve their problems. I need you to also explain complex topics to non-technical people. Most resumes should have that. And that you can meet multiple deadlines concurrently in Agile, Scrum, and Waterfall. Less so Waterfall, but whatever. So this ratio is, do we actually know the ratio? 150, so this is not great. So let's see. I haven't had any interviews in a while that like to know what to change. So I think this is their newer version, but let's see what works. Or more accurately, what doesn't work. So 20 seconds on the clock. I clicked the wrong button again. 20 seconds on the clock. And go. Okay, degree, good. Let's see. Analyze business performance using SQL, Tableau, and Excel to identify trends and generate insights that support a data-driven. What data-driven? Develop dashboards and reports using. I don't want dashboards. I want specifics. This is different than the data analyst using business intelligence tools such as to enable data visualization. Don't care about this. Again, and gather documents using Microsoft Office and APP. That one is okay. So again, this is the difference between a data analyst and a business analyst, right? There are some slight differences. For a data analyst, I want to see data visualization. For Business analyst, I don't. I understand they're the same thing, but this is what people are hiring for. And then analyzed business performance, okay, using SQL, Tableau, and Excel, good, to identify trends and generate insight that supported data-driven decision-making. So here's the problem. I don't want you to say that supported data-driven decision-making. I want you to describe what decisions it was, right? So the CEO could decide which profit to use. So the engineering team would not make a critical mistake. This is too vague. I need more. So you had the right idea, but I need more. Let's see. This is, so then we go down here and then again, develop dashboards, don't care, and reports using business intelligence tools to enable data visualization and tracking. Again, that's not something I'm looking for because that would be closer to a data analyst rather than a business analyst. So most everything in this sentence is bad. To understand performance is okay as a reason, but the rest of this isn't good. Gathered and documented requirements. Just say requirements gathering documentation, but this is still fine. Using Microsoft Office and SAP by collaborating with stakeholders. What do you mean collaborating? Collaborating is one of my most personally hated means because, like, did you just send them an email once and then never talk to them again? It's so unspecific that I don't know. Did you build something? Did you talk to them? Did you show them a piece of paper, then run away hiding? I don't know. Collaborating is terrible. Working with is better, but with stakeholders and communicating technical concepts clearly supported decisions. Again, you can't just say communicating concepts to supportive decisions. You have to tell me what those were. You need to tell me the details about it. The problem with this is there's not enough details. You need the details. So communicating technical concepts, good, but about what? Were you communicating technical concepts about why a Pokemon, Machamp, is better than Gengar? I don't know. You did not tell me. I need decisions. I need you to tell me specifically what it is. Collaborate, just worked with cross-functional teams to coordinate tasks and manage multiple priorities within deadlines, supporting, like, what? This is so vague to the point where it's almost kind of chat GPT'd. I don't want you to say cross-functional teams. I want to say worked with the engineering and marketing team to manage their different their 5 different projects, meeting all deadlines by supporting them by doing X or Y. The problem is you've removed all the context behind what you've done to the point where it's scrubbed clean. Like, again, I want the qualifications and I need to know the business decisions and I need to know the specifics. The problem is I don't want requirements gathering and documentation. I want to know what those stakeholders did. What was communicating the technical concepts? What technical concepts did you communicate? What trends did you specifically generate for? I don't know because you did not tell me. But you need to be very specific about what you've done. You cannot scrub your resume of context like this, or else it's going to get rejected. This is a resume of a data analyst intern. So again, what we need is degree, ability to work well with others, take direction, criticism, and for data analyst, we need a basic knowledge of SQL, Python, Pandas, NumPy, Excel, VBA, macros, pivot tables, and if you can shove in something about influencing stakeholders, even better, but you may not be able to actually do that as a data analyst intern. So this resume is good or bad? It is unknown. This is a resume fix after suggestions. The original resume was 150 to 200 to 1. So this is, we're expecting to be just a little bit better, hopefully a lot better, but we don't know the ratio of the new one. So 20 seconds on the clock. Let me get everything done. And, sorry, y'all. There we go. Whatever. We're keeping this one. All right, 20 seconds on the clock. And go. All right, degree, good. Supported data migration and workflow for federal government agency using, okay, SQL and Power BI help program teams monitor health data sets and access reports. This is too technical. Wrote SQL queries, good, and validation scripts to migrate to decentralize, so, okay. Again, too technical. Built dashboards in Power BI, good, but you already mentioned that, so bad. Declined. All right. So you have too much stuff here that is not related. And you have a lot of stuff that is doubled up. So remember, We don't want to double up on the same keyword in the same job if we can't help it. Sometimes you're forced to. Sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you're going to have to double up. But the goal is to try to not do it. And I don't really see how you can work with non-technical people or take direction and criticism. So let me go through this and tell you what's wrong and right. So supported data migration, okay, and a reporting workflow at a federal government health agency using just say used SQL and Power BI to help government program teams monitor health data sets, and then something else, because remember, that's only two. So health data sets, right? Government health, you add the, can't fully cut this is going to look a little weird. This part, nothing, but that right here, government health agency, should be after here. So used SQL and Power BI to help government health agency program teams monitor X, and then I need one more, because remember, you need three keywords per bullet point. That's only two. Then wrote SQL. You already mentioned SQL doesn't count. Queries to migrate data, central reporting teams could drag data. Again, that is how I would like you to write it, but there's nothing here that you mentioned that I didn't already have in a previous sentence. So there's really nothing in that one that we need. Built dashboards. Again, you've mentioned, I think you've mentioned dashboards again. You might not have mentioned dashboards, but you did mention Power BI. So to give program teams self-operational data, again, there's nothing here. Like where is the Excel? Where's the, did I miss Python? Yeah, where's the Python? Where's the Excel? The fact that you don't have Excel is deal breaker. Collaborated with analysts, worked with analysts, analysts and non-technical staff to gather reporting requirements model so they could use directly. That one's not terrible, but it's not great. Like, you need to the idea behind this one is okay. You just need to rewrite it. Just say translated technical workflows for non-technical program staff to gather reporting requirements and allow them to use it or something, right? Like, the important part is that you translate it to non-technical people. So you wrote this weird, but you had the right idea. Created reports and presentations in Excel and PowerPoint to communicate data findings to non-technical. Why did you do that? Why was it important? I don't know. Also, Excel is so important. That should be in your first sentence, bro. But like, what? Why? Why did you do this? I don't know. You didn't tell me. So that is part of the problem with this, is I really don't see a lot. I don't see enough of the basic knowledge of the industry, and I don't see that you can work well together with people and take directions and criticism. Yeah, I don't. And that is critical. That is part of the requirements. Oh, I see. I didn't even fully go down here. But why? Why did you do this? So I need more context. I need you to tell me the actual requirements. I need you to fix the bullet points. And I need you to tell me how you can work well together with others and take direction and criticism. You kind of thought that all this SQL and stuff was the most important part, and then you just sort of buried Excel down there. No, Excel is one of the most important parts. I need Excel. I need Python. I need SQL. You did have SQL. And I need you to tell me how you can work well together with others and take direction and criticism. If I don't have that, you cannot move forward as an intern. So this is the problem with this resume. Next resume. This is a resume of a IT support help desk. So what we need, I got that too early. What we need is Mac OS, Linux, Android, Windows. Again, like what environment you're working with. Education, if you have it. I think this is a second one. They don't have the education, so they're not going to have it. Customer service, troubleshooting, problem solving, networking, DNS, DHCP, TCP, VPN, multitask, meet deadlines, industry, Jira, Office, Microsoft 365, Active Directory, and then CompTI, Microsoft Desktop support. Those are all the bonuses. So 20 seconds on the clock. This is supposed to be a very good resume. This is getting like a 1 in 25, I think, so it's very good. Also classic Newgrounds Burrito Bison, which is aging me right now. So 20 seconds on the clock and go. Provided IT helps troubleshooting hardware, software, network issues. Restore user at perfect. Resolved user issues by diagnosing root cause across Windows 9. Fantastic. Manage user account and access permissions by using secure-compliant systems. Install and configure system using Microsoft. Document and track users. Okay, good. Handled support requests multiple sites. One, dealing with that documentation. Great. I I think your formatting is a little off. This is a pass. I want to. This is a pass. Your formatting is a little off, and I think you could combine these two sentences, and you might want to move this up here, and then add a couple of bullet points to it. So, like, combine these two, put them third. Combine these two, keep them fourth. Otherwise, I think that's fantastic. The only thing I'm missing is the education, but I don't think you have it, which is fine. And I don't know if you need to keep the broadcast studio manager, but yeah, so just combine these two, right? Combine these two, move this one up here to third. Don't delete this, just move it as the third bullet point instead of the whatever this is. And fantastic. This is quick. I don't know what else to say. It's a short review. It's great. I have everything I need, especially because you're fluent in Spanish and English. Oh, fantastic. You show where you are. Is there anything here I'm missing? No. I don't think anything. Maybe switch IT support analyst instead of operations manager. And put IT support analyst first, or just IT support / operations manager. But I love it. Just make sure your phone number is correct and your email, because sometimes people, well, they forget to change that after reviewing it, and that actually hurts their chances. But otherwise, fantastic. I don't really have any notes. So that's all I can do for this resume, and that's all I can do for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate comments and likes, subscribes. It helps me out. And if you ever need more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on YouTube and Twitch at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. Or Twitch, yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's in the link. Y'all got it. And to my members for supporting me, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for supporting me. And if you want to join and be a member, you can join in the link below. You get access to videos a little bit early. But that's it for this episode. So until next time, I'm here to get you ahead of your job search. Later, y'all.